kiddos, it's time for an art lesson, and today we're going to be doing your canvas. So you're going to want to go and get your canvas, an assortment of brushes. You need rinse water, and then you're going to need your tubs of paint, and you are definitely going to need paper towels. I'm wearing my apron today because this paint will not wash out of clothes, so find something to cover your clothes, or if you have an art apron or an old shirt, go put it on. You need a pencil, and then I think from there, I think that's everything we need. So go get all your supplies. We're gonna get started. Okay, are you ready to go? I am doing my art on a Tuesday, and it is really, really yucky and rainy outside, and so we're gonna actually make a beautiful spring or summer day. So with your canvas, I have mine set up on an easel, and the reason I have it on an easel is because it's going to make it easier for me to videotape. You don't need to have an easel. Whoopsie. Oh, be careful. I should be saying be careful to Miss Melanie. You don't have to have an easel. In fact, normally I really like to do mine right on the tabletop. I think it's easier, but I'm going to use an easel today. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to do our sunshine. I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to sketch in a ginormous sun that fills up the top part of my canvas. I'm going to try to draw really light. Pencil coming off of canvas can be really difficult to erase. It can also be hard to paint over, especially since we're going to be doing yellows and oranges, and those are lighter colors. One hint, if you want to, you can grab something round like this piece of tape, or this roll of tape. I could actually trace the whole roll of tape to make a sunshine. Of course, it's not big enough for the canvas that we have, but if you wanted to use like a plastic dinner plate or something like that, you certainly could for your sunshine, okay? So once we get this on there, we're gonna go ahead and paint it. I'm gonna take a medium-ish size brush, and I have orange, I think you can see this, orange, yellow, and pink. And I am gonna start with my orange. We're gonna do some acrylic blending. So I'm gonna just start with it on my canvas, and I'm gonna do the outline of my sunshine. Everybody should be able to see that really well. Get a little more on my brush. Now, I don't wanna have big streaks or lumps. So as I do this, I want to use a big enough brush that as I go, I am able to smooth it out. While I don't want to see any white underneath, I also don't want big, thick blobs of paint. So fill that in. I'm actually going to fill in the whole entire thing with orange. Here we go. All right, I'm getting there. I used not a ginormous brush. I have ginormous brushes, but I think this is better. All right, now my brush still has orange in it. I'm not gonna rinse it. I'm gonna dip it right in the yellow. And now I'm gonna blend yellow, I'm gonna get more, right on top of my orange. It won't be a huge, big difference in what you see, but you will be able to tell that it adds some lightness to your sun. Now, I still don't want to rinse my brush, oopsie, and but I am gonna grab a paper towel, and I'm just gonna dab some of the paint out of it. So I still have paint in my brush, but my paper towel dabbed it. I did just remember to tell you something. I don't know if you noticed, but as I was going through this, my brush stroke is round, following the shape of the sun. Okay, I have my yellow and my orange blended. I'm gonna take just a tiny little bit of pink. I'm not gonna do a whole lot, got just a little bit on there. I'm gonna take my brush, and I am going to wipe that brush again. So I'm wiping the brush, now I'm blending. Okay, this is how you make highlights and highlights and lowlights and shadows and things like that on your painting, okay? Once I have my colors mixed the way I would like them, and I can play with this for a little bit, and I might step back and, oh look, I'm gonna add this and just leave a little more pink roundness. I kinda like the way that looks. If you get too much paint on there, you can take your paper towel and you can blot it, and it'll pull, it actually will leave neat patterns too. So if you need to, you can blot off some of what you have. If you get it too thick, it's too heavy. You can also blot some off because you want to lighten it, and so I can come back over. I still have that pink in my brush, so I didn't actually lighten it very much, but I like the look of the pink in my sunshine a little bit. Now, as I'm going through this, I didn't pour any out, but you guys have white. Here, I'll grab some. You have some white. It's fine to have some white. I poured mine. You can dip your brush right in. Just be careful on the mixing part. You don't want your little tubs of paint like this one to be all mixed together. I should have said that first too. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. So I took a little bit of the white, and now I'm adding like highlights to my sun. So if I want to lighten my sun up, if I got it too dark with the pink, I could blot it. Then I could add like so. Okay, once you feel like you are in a place where your nice big corner sun is the colors that you want it to be, then you're gonna go to the blow dryer. The other thing with the hair dryer or the blow dryer is I can blow dry this, and then I can come right back and I can keep adding colors on top of it. So I'm gonna shut the camera off. You don't need to watch me blow dry, and I'm gonna go blow dry my canvas. You go blow dry yours, and we'll be back in a minute. All the way dry. One of the reasons I dried it is because we are getting ready to do our blue sky. When we do the blue, we don't want our wet oranges and yellows and pinks to mix. We want our blue to be its own nice clean color. Now for this, I am gonna grab a pretty big brush. I also still have white down in my tray, and my white has not at all mixed with orange or yellow or pink. If it had, I'd want to pour some out separate to get a nice clean white. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip my brush straight into the blue pot, and then I am going to, and I have a giant brush, you may have a different sized brush. I'm using this giant one. It's actually not the best brush, it's a little bit stiff. Okay, as I get my blue on there, now I'm gonna dip in my white so that I can add some lightness, so I get a little bit on there. Then I add some white. I'm not getting any at all. There we go. I'm gonna add the white so that I can have some variation. Oopsie, I got some orange in there, but I'm gonna blend it on in. So make sure you're dry, and make sure you try to stay away from just the edge of your sun. Okay, there we go. Once I get that area covered, I'm gonna continue to go until I get about right there, because we're gonna be putting some flowers in our picture, so I need some room for the grass. So paint, paint, paint. All right, add a little white to it. Blend that in. Notice that I'm kind of going off the edge, and I'm making sure that I spread mine very, very smooth. I don't want any brush stroke lines, and so I'll work from one edge. I'm still kind of going in a curve. I didn't have to do that, but I am. Work from one edge all the way back over to the next edge. Now I've got some space right here next to my sun, which I can still see just a little bit of white, so I want to be real careful to get next to that edge. Now we're going to add sun rays, so I don't need to worry about it too much. I'm going to put my brush in the water. Now I used a great big brush. Before if you're running out of brushes, get them really clean. Make sure all the water is out. So I like to just dump my brush in there and let it soak for a little bit. And then you can see this, on these big thick brushes, I don't mind kind of going pop, 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 pop along the bottom, because that'll help the water get out. But if it's one of my smaller brushes, I want to be gentler and I want to swish it around and around. If I wipe on my napkin and I still see color, like I'm seeing orange, I need to rinse some more, okay? If you have a hard time getting your colors out, you can also go to the kitchen sink and use soap and water. Hey, guess what? It's time to blow dry, so that's what we will go do. Blow dry away. You can't see me, but I am making all kinds of weird faces because I am so messy. I don't even understand. Oh, and I shouldn't touch my shirt, and my hair is in my eyes, and then I end up with paint on my face and on my glasses. It's a real problem for Miss Melanie. All right, here we go. Now, I have my little green tub. I'm getting a different brush because I don't want to do all the washing. I'm just gonna do a little straight line across here with green. So it actually, my blue is dry, but this time, even if my blue was a little bit damp, blue and yellow, sorry, I have to think of my color wheel. Blue and yellow make green, and so if blue and yellow cross over at all, it's not a big deal. Okay, nice smooth line of grass. Now I'm not gonna stop and go blow dry this because we're gonna switch back up to our sun and that can dry on its own for just a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna grab my pencil and now I'm gonna make some fancy sun rays. I want them to be cute because I'm making a cute painting. So I'm actually gonna start in the middle. I'm gonna sketch a line out and make it kind of fat. Then I'm gonna get skinnier and I'm gonna make it curl just a little bit. Now, I don't know how well you can see that, and so I'm gonna go ahead and outline that with orange so you can see it. I went like so, and then I made it come into a point. See how I did that? After I get all of them drawn, I go back through the same process of doing yellow and orange, but I didn't want to have to paint very carefully around the lines, or I could have done this when I first did my sun. Okay, so yellow and orange, and then if I want to, I can add like a little streak of pink, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, draw your sun rays. It's hard for me to be sideways with this, but it will be all right, won't it? All right, draw sun rays all the way around like, that one's gonna actually go off my canvas and that's okay. Once you get all of them drawn, and I just have mine lightly sketched, I'm going to do that outlining first. I might even go through and outline all of them. That way you can see what I'm doing after I have outlined. Make a little edge over here. Then I'm gonna start filling them in. If I need to, because I'm blending colors, I'm not rinsing my brush, but remember, if you get too much of one color, just take a paper towel, and just wipe. I threw that right in my paint. All right, now you might notice if you are working with yellow, yellow does not cover the blue very well. So you've gotta make sure that you mix a little bit of the orange, or if you want your sun not to be as bright as mine, you can grab some of the white. The white will cover the blue if it's blended like this with yellow, and then you don't have to put on so many coats of paint. The key is to not layer on tons and tons of paint, but to mix your colors so that they are a consistency where they cover. And then at any point that you want to do a quick blow dry, see, and then I can come back in here where it overlaps. At any point that you want to go blow dry and then layer your colors on up, you may go to the blow dryer, okay? Well, I mean, it's not like I'm the boss of you in your house, but if you need to stop and do that, I should have had you ask your parents if you could use a blow dryer. I think I will go back in the beginning and add a little, hey guys, this is what you need to do. Anyway, so I'm pretty satisfied with mine until I blow dry it. I'm gonna go to the blow dryer. When I come back from the blow dryer, I'm gonna see if I wanna add any more color, because the blow dryer will tell me if I actually got my colors blended well, or it will also tell me if I actually am able to cover all of the blue. So go ahead, if you're ready to blow dry, go blow dry, finish up what you wanna paint, do your second coat if you need one, and then we'll come back and do flowers. All right, I am happy with my sun. I have lots of colors if you look closely blended in. And now what I'm gonna do is I actually still have the yellow and orange in my brush, and I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna go right above my grass line, and I'm gonna do a circle of yellow, like so. This is gonna be my first flower. Then I'm gonna come over here. I can go up a little higher. I don't necessarily want all my flowers to be the same length. I'm gonna do another circle of yellow, and then I'm gonna come down here, and this one's gonna be a shorter one. So I have 3 circles of yellow. These are gonna be the center of flowers. Once I have that, I'm putting my yellow brush that I was using into my water. I'm rinsing and drying it. Then I'm gonna come around to the front here because it's hard when you're sideways to get really good circles. Now on this, whoopsie, this one's getting to be pretty big, but I am okay with that. Okay, those are my first flower middles. Now, darn it, I keep getting bigger and bigger. That means I'm gonna have a really big flower right here, and that is okay. All right, so it's probably not a bad idea to go and blow dry that. If your grass isn't dry, make sure you blow dry your grass too. If you want to, you can add some little orange highlights in the middle of this. Make sure you keep them round, like so. I can spin my brush all the way around, and so I've got flowers that have the middles but no petals. I'm gonna go blow dry. I actually have a blow dryer right here. You don't wanna watch me do this, do you? Blow dry your own. Okay, ready for flowers. I'm gonna pick my pencil back up, and I am going to very carefully, I'm doing my petals pretty big. I'm gonna draw flower petals all the way around. I'm not gonna get in any hurry. And that's my first flower. Now, I may not want the exact same kind of flower petals because it's hard to see my pencil. I'm gonna grab one of my smaller brushes and I'm just gonna show you. I've picked purple, so I have purple on my brush. I've already gotten my little tub out, and I am gonna fill in my flower petals. See that? I go very, very carefully. Take my time, so I want my flowers to look nice. Now, purple sometimes needs a little white mixed in to make it show up better. So what I usually do is, as I'm doing my purple, getting that on there, I'll get just a little bitty, tiny bit of white. Look, you can do like those little middle things, which look really cute. Just keep going around. Anyway, that shows you the shape of it. So now for my second flower, I want to do a different color, but maybe I want a different kind of flower. And so I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to draw a circle all the way around the outside. After I have drawn that circle, I'm going to get my small, where did it go? My small brush back again. This time I'm going to grab pink. I am going to do an outline around the whole entire, I'm not getting enough pink on my brush, the whole entire flower like that. So now I have orangey yellow in the middle and pink around the outside. Once I've gotten all of that pink, I'm actually gonna use my brush. I'm gonna do it with white, and I'm gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna put little lines. I'm just tapping the brush. They don't even actually touch each other, but my petals, my flower petals, are just little smushes that I do with my paintbrush. I didn't even have to dry it, okay? And so I have an interesting looking flower that looks different from the other flowers. I can even do like a little white highlight in there if I want to. And then I'm ready for my last flower. Now for this one, I'm gonna do a flower that I like to do where it has little pokey things sticking out of it. I like to do a bottom petal. So I do petals just along the bottom. I had room for 4 of them. Then I'm gonna do a line, and I'm gonna put a little circle on the end of the line, and I'm ready to paint the flower. Now a color we haven't used yet, or I haven't, is red. So I'm gonna put some red and some red right inside of there. And then I'm gonna make my flower petals down here and outline all of them. Those are going to be red also. So as I go around, I can make them a little longer, make them stand out, and that gives you a nice, bright red flower. Now I still have that stem. I can go back later, I'll probably do it with black, and make my little stem stick out. Wait, that still has red on it, I can do that. All right, so you can see it, it's a little bit darker, and then when I'm ready to add my black, I can do some other things. So go ahead and get your 3 flowers on your painting. Underneath the sun, I'm going back to my purple. Pause the video if you need to get caught up. I am gonna finish this off while you guys are drawing. Remember that I said that I can add some white to it if I want to. It might make it blend better, or I could use that white for like little highlighting inside the petals. Okay, you can do the same thing over here, a little bit of highlight on my flower, like that. Okay, so if you are doing your flowers, go ahead and keep doing that. I'm headed to the blow dryer and I'll be back. Okay, we're about ready to finish up. So while after I was done blow drying, I actually added a little red bit down here. That's going to be a ladybug. I have my black poured out, and I have found the skinniest brush that I can find. I'm going to take that skinny brush, and this is what I'm going to use to make my flower stems. So instead of using a darker green, because I'm not sure I sent you one, I'm actually just going to use black, and I'm going to make my flower stems like so. Once I have my flower stems, I'm going to do some leaves. Do one there. I think this one I'll make it come like it's coming up out of the grass. Now my black is a little bit thick. I wish it were a little runnier. I don't know what yours feels like. Okay, and I've got that. Now, ladybug. Give her a little head right here. Now, to do her dots, my favorite way to do dots is to turn the brush upside down, dip into the paint, do a dot. And I pretty much dip every time I want to add a dot, okay? Now, other things I like to do, I think it's really cute. I'm going to come closer. See how I'm taking the end of the brush on this pink flower? I've dipped it in the black, and I am making myself a cute little polka dotted border, like, you know how sunflowers have little seeds in them, or, whoopsie, I dropped my brush. Flowers can have like pollen and stuff like that. So I'm gonna use the black to add some details. Now I'm gonna go all the way around this, like so. I also can use the black to do like a swirl. So I could I go very, very slow, skinny brush. I can make a swirl inside. I can outline anything I want to outline. Now I've got to make little antenna on my ladybug. So there she is. Now when I am done with the black and I go and blow dry it, I'm actually going to take a different brush. I'm going to put this one down. Let me put it in the water. I am going to get a scoop of the green, and I'm actually going to do this. Let me show you. I have the little lid right here. I'm scooping out some green. The rest of what's in here is dry, and I'm putting it right here. Now I'm going to get a big old scoop of white, and I'm going to blend that together, and I'm going to make a light green. Once your leaves, the black that you created for the leaves, once that's dry, if you mix the green like so, you will have a lighter colored leaf. So I have made myself a new color so that my leaf will show up. The other thing you can add, because blue and yellow make green, you can take a little bit of yellow and you can make your flowers more of a yellowy green. And then be careful, because I didn't wait till my black was dry, but it does show just enough of a difference so that your leaves stand out in the grass. Now, I can do anything else I want to this. I can add a little butterfly up there if I want to. I can get that skinny brush back out, and I can outline the outside of each one of my petals to make it stand out if I want to. So the rest of your artwork is going to be your choice on anything you want to add. My one word of caution is don't overdo it. If you have a nice canvas with your little flowers and your sun and your pretty blue sky, and you want to add like one ladybug or one little butterfly up here, I think that's cute. I think an artist also needs to know when enough is enough, okay? Please, please send me a picture of what you did, and I hope you had fun today. I sure miss you guys. Bye. Hi guys, before we go for the day, I have one last little tip. I think we already know that Miss Melanie is the messiest artist, at least in Arkansas. I am gonna get hand sanitizer Hand sanitizer will dissolve the acrylic paint and get it off your skin before washing better than just soap and water. And so when I have a whole bunch of acrylic paint on me, I'll get a squirt of hand sanitizer while I'm by the sink, and then as soon as I get the hand sanitizer all rubbed over my hands, I will immediately wash them with soap and water, and then it takes the acrylic paint off a lot better. Clean up, guys. Send me your pictures. Bye.